All right, everyone, welcome back to PipeWagonTV. And today's episode, we're going to talk about the top 3 things to do with any new AR, whether it's a build or whether you bought it pre-assembled. Let's jump into it. First thing that I'm going to recommend, guys, is a way to acquire or see or locate your target. All right. It doesn't matter whether it's iron sights, backup sights, and by the way, the camera doesn't do this laser any justice. It is very bright. All right. But yeah, like I was saying, have something. Reflex sight, even if you got to borrow it off of your Glock, or your other firearm, or your other AR, go ahead and get you something on there so you'll be ready. All right. Depending on what direction you want to go with, you may decide that you want a red dot. You may decide that you only want flip up sights. You may decide that, you want a laser or a reflex sight, or you want to do a Romeo and Juliet, or, whatever route you want to go. Put that on the gun first. You need to see what you need to hit. Anything could happen at any time, and that firearm may be next to you. You may have other people in your house, and you got to defend them, yourself. You're not going to feel confident without anything on the gun. All right. So don't be out here like Elmer Fudd looking down the barrel. We in 2023. All right, y'all. So first thing, get you some type of optic or sighting system. All right. Number 2, either upgrade or make sure you have a blast forwarding device, whether it's a linear compensator or something other than an A2 flash hider or muzzle brake. And this really only pertains to those of us that's not stepping out our back door and shooting off the back deck. All right. So if you're going to be in an indoor range or somewhere like that, just be courteous of those that's around you. Every time I go to the range, there's somebody in there with some obnoxious muzzle brake or some obnoxious, chambered round, in their AR, and they just blowing everybody out the box next to them. Come on, guys, don't be that jackass in the range. Be considerate. Once again, if you live out in the woods and you just out doing your thing, nobody's going to care. Nobody's going to notice. All right. But if you're in these close quarter environments, be mindful of the people next to you. If you're shooting next to me and you got a loud, obnoxious, blowing concussive waves all over the range, and I'm right next to you, I'm just going to have my girl go over there, reach down in your belt line, give you a wedgie, and pull your drawers up on your shoulders like a tank top. All right. All right, but guys, seriously, let's be respectful for those that are in the range next to us. All right. So check your muzzle device out. If you got holes off on the sides, that means you either got a brake or a flash hider. All right. Get the proper linear compensator or muzzle forwarding device. All right. This one here is Call Valley Precision. So I like the way this one looked. And this is the one I chose. All right. It's also supposed to help out with recoil, that not the 9mm. This is an AR-15 with an AR-9 conversion. I did the Mean Arms conversion kit inside of the Gen 2, Gen 3 magazines. I like this look. All right. I like the traditional forward assist look and the wider magazines. I don't like these skinny magazines in a lot of the AR-9 setups. All right. But back to what I was saying. Just get you something on there, guys. Even if you don't plan on using it a lot, when you go to the range, just make sure you have that. All right. Number 3. You guessed it. Go to the range. Get a bunch of different ammo, or if money is tight, get 2 or 3 different types of ammo. All right. And I would say that you would want to do this within the first few days, you know, because here's the thing. You want to use this time, one, to find out whether there are any hiccups within your build or within your purchase. Okay, if you purchased it already pre-assembled, some of these big companies, stuff squeaks by them sometimes, you know. Something may be wrong with your barrel, or something may be wrong with your buffer system. You know, they may have put the wrong spring in your particular gun. Okay, they may have put the wrong buffer in your particular gun. It has happened. It happens every day. All right. So, and then not only that, even if the gun is working perfectly normal, you want to make sure that the ammo that you like to use at the range or for self-defense is working flawlessly. Okay. It may require some adjustments to run the type of ammo that you like, or the type of ammo that you want to use at the range. All right. You know, you may have to change your buffer setup, okay, or your spring setup, or adjust your gas block, or switch the gas block out, or whatever the case may be. You may just need to oil, you know, your bolt carrier, or you may just need to break the gun in. Sometimes some of these firearms have a lot of issues in the beginning, cycling and things like that. Now, I haven't run into that. I built this from the ground up, every part picked out. All right. Runs like a sewing machine, flawless out the gate. All right. But I know what I'm doing, guys. So let's make sure you take that new firearm, you get it out, whether you're shooting off the back deck, you know, stepping out the back door, whatever the case may be, going to the gun range, get some ammo through your gun. I hear so many guys that say, oh yeah, I had the gun for 5 months or 6 months. That's cool if it's in your safe, but these guys are actually carrying their truck guns or carrying, you know, handguns on them, never have shot them. All right. The worst time to find out that your gun doesn't like the ammo that you're trying to use, or that your gun has a malfunctioning problem, or your gun has a defect, the worst time to find that out is in a shootout or in a situation where you need to defend yourself. All right. Don't be that guy. Don't be that gal. All right. I can't stress that enough. That probably should be number 1 on the list. But the reason why I have it at number 3 is because I feel like you at least need to have some type of sights or sighting system, so you can kind of gauge accuracy, you know. And then while you're gauging accuracy, testing the gun out, you're not upsetting every damn body around you while you're doing it. All right. So I think that's a pretty good lineup. Let me know what you guys think as far as the order. Now, we do have some honorable mentions. Now, I know some of you guys are going to say, well, hey, you know, PSA was running a special and mine came with a Romeo 5. Okay, cool. You already got number 1 out the way. All right. Or some of you guys may say, hey, I got a Maximum Defense. It got a hate brake on the end, which is a hell of a muzzle device. All right. And it wouldn't apply to you. All right. But number 3 is going to apply to everybody, because your gun is not coming with ammo. No manufacturer is giving you free ammo with the gun. All right. And no manufacturer is going to require you to shoot it before you walk out the door. You better not shoot it in there. You know what I mean? Now, we do have some honorable mentions. And some of you may say, well, damn, man, what? We supposed to do the trigger, you know, we supposed to get the trigger straight. Listen, doing a trigger job or switching the trigger out is not necessarily needed. All right. When you first get the gun. Now, here's why. Just bear with me. Just bear with me. What if you bought a firearm and let's say it wasn't a special edition, right? But the manufacturer put a polished trigger in there, or the manufacturer put an upgraded trigger in there? Or what if it is a special edition and you was just so excited and your salesman, the gun salesman, didn't tell you what all features that the gun had, right? We've been down that road before. You know, car salesman doesn't tell you everything that's in the car. Gun salesman, he doesn't know everything about the gun. A lot of times we know more about the firearms than they do, all right? That's why I say shoot it how it is, all right? Because you may find out you might like that trigger. Even though it may be a little bit heavier, it just may feel right with the setup that you have. And even if you know you're going to get rid of it, let's say you do go in and you shoot it, you find out everything is working properly with your firearm, you have a baseline, you know, to know that, okay, it was working with this in, or it felt like this with this in it. You go to something else, and let's say it doesn't function properly, you know that your stock or your standard setup, how you first tested it, was fine. So you have a reference point. So that's why I say the trigger is an honorable mention. Okay. I ain't gonna lie. Me, myself, personally, you guys already know. Those that have been watching the channel, I polished the trigger off the rip. I already know 7, 8, 9 pound trigger is just not gonna cut it. All right. But I'm familiar with that process. I know how to do it. A lot of people out there don't know how to do it. They may mess things up. All right. And I'll give you guys some footage on that as well. But that's why I put the trigger in the honorable mention, because you do want to, you know, run it, see what you got, and then go from there. All right. Also in the honorable mention is, like I said, let's say your gun came with a nice optic red dot. Let's say you had a nice blast forwarding device on your firearm. Then I would say move to something that's in the ergonomic department. All right. Because comfort has a lot to do with how you feel about shooting the gun. And the better you feel about shooting the gun, the more confidence you're going to have, the more accurate you're going to be. All right. So ergonomics, it could be anything as small as getting rid of the grip that came with the gun and upgrading. Okay. Might give you a better feel, you know. Might want to get something that has a little bit of rubber on it, you know, be a little bit more molded to your fingers. Okay. A little more soft, whatever the case may be. All right. Ergonomics always helps. Okay. Whether it's some type of hand stop or, you know, let's say you're shooting 5.56, you got a short barrel, your hand guard is getting very hot. You may need some inserts to protect your hands, or you may need gloves. Okay. Or you may find out your brace may not slide back far enough. You may have to upgrade your brace. Okay. Make sure you have attachments for a sling. Okay. All that has to do with ergonomics. Okay. Maybe your hand guard. Maybe you want a thicker hand guard and how it feels in your hand. Pause. All right. So anything along those lines. And then also anything to improve accuracy. All right. Is in the honorable mentions. Okay. So let's say your gun came with, you know, some iron sights or flip up sights. Okay. Well, to improve accuracy, you can actually mount a red dot and have those as a backup. Okay. Anything that's going to help you be more accurate. All right. Now we can get into the triggers. Okay. You may go to a lighter trigger pull because it's been proven that a lighter trigger pull helps with accuracy. Okay. You don't want an 8 or 9 pound trigger pulling you offline. Okay. So basically you have tested the gun out. You know where you are in terms of what direction you need to go in. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Glad to be back. We'll pump out some more videos. All right. I got some more stuff coming for you guys, and have a great one.